What's going on, guys? Aarava here, and welcome back to my F1 2017 mod career mode here with Kimi Raikkonen's Ferrari car for episode number 16 today at the USA Grand Prix, the circuit of the Americas. If you did miss the last episode, it was literally only uploaded yesterday, so you may have missed it. Be sure to go check that one out at the Japanese Grand Prix. But you can see ahead in qualifying here, ahead of today's race, Sebastian Vettel grabs pole position once again from Lewis Hamilton to Valtteri Bottas. This time, though, I come in fourth place ahead of the two Red Bull cars, and you can clearly see by the right-hand side, qualifying was a much closer affair this time around USA. Very, very tight between the top four there, only covered by less than 2/10. So it's going to be pretty close in the race, hopefully, and hopefully we can try and challenge this man on pole position, Sebastian Vettel, and hopefully we can both kind of hopefully beat the two Mercedes cars, because last time the two Mercedes cars started second and third and they finished 1-2, which was unfortunate. Obviously, we've got a healthy lead in the constructors, but we want to try and extend that as much as we can. So let's see if we can do that, because we go to 5 red lights for the USA Grand Prix, and we are underway from fourth place there, and it's a pretty poor start actually for us, because Ricciardo comes across the right hand side. I try and cover him off. We've got Hamilton down the inside of Bottas covering him off as well, and Vettel is cleaning away in first place. Bottas goes wide after Hamilton has squeezed him out, so we go round the outside of him into I guess you could say turn 2 technically, and then into the S section. We can see clearly Vettel already stretching his legs a little bit there in P1, followed by Hamilton, myself, Bottas, then the two Red Bull cars, and then you've got I think one of the Williams cars, and then two Force India. So Williams picking up a bit of pace here. Obviously at USA you've got that long back straight, so the Williams cars with low drag setup should be pretty damn good versus the Force India car, so that'll be a bit of a midfield scrap for them, right behind the kind of top 6 I guess, and really top 4, because the two Red Bull cars are kind of stuck in no man's land really, especially so in the championship at the moment, the constructors wise. But now we move on towards lap 2. Vettel says pass up the Grand Prix, as you would imagine, being the guy out in front, but we're going to get a good slipstream on Lewis Hamilton, going to feed it down the inside, nice and easy, and with Hamilton way too deep into turn 1, we're going to get second place pretty damn easily there, and it's now going to be a 1-2 for Scuderia Ferrari. So we've had that time and time again before, and we've lost it in previous races, so hopefully we can try and keep it this time. But I'm going to try later on in the Grand Prix to try and swap it basically, and hopefully have myself in P1 and Vettel P2. Of course, Vettel the main challenger to my title at the moment, the closest man in the championship, so if we can try and beat him today, that'll be a good extension of our pretty comfortable lead at the moment still. But here we go with slipstream and just DRS as well down the inside left hand side. Should be pretty okay, locking up on the left tyre, but we don't run too wide there onto the curbing on the opposite side of the circuit. We're going to cover off the inside quite aggressively actually. You can see Vettel really swoop quite aggressively on the left hand side of the circuit there to try and maybe get some sort of switchback line. Again, we do the same thing on the next corner. This is a very awkward kind of double left-hander, which is very off camber. The track tilts in on itself just where the stadium section is, but we go really tight on the line once again, defend the apex, and then through the next kind of triple right-hander, which I guess is kind of like Turkey, turn 8 but backwards, and we're up into first place and defending that position pretty damn well at the moment. But Vettel may have a run on us down up to the hill for turn 1. So let's see as we cross the line now. You can see also the Mercedes car of Lewis Hamilton's not too far behind Vettel, so I wonder if Hamilton will actually have a go at Vettel, which would be quite an interesting thing to watch. But no, we go deep into turn 1 actually, and Vettel's going to come back at us there. So we've done the exact same thing Hamilton had with us when we overtook Hamilton. He went too deep, and then we've gone too deep there in Vettel, and we've actually had to defend from him. And in doing so, actually, we don't compromise ourselves, funnily enough. We compromise Vettel, because Vettel now is down to P3, and he's staring at the back of Lewis Hamilton's gearbox, which, well, the less said about that, the better. We now move on to lap 5, locking up on the left tyre, once again having major issues into turn 1. This time Hamilton is the one squeezing us, and this time, unlike Vettel, he's got the better run into turn 1, sparking away into the S section, but he's got that. He's up into first place, so we're going to have to try and re-overtake him if we can, going through towards sector 2. But yeah, having some major issues into turn 1, kind of odd, because obviously it's uphill, so actually that kind of helps your braking zone a little bit. But anyways, we're trying to feed it down the inside of Hamilton here. It's not going to work out, but then he's going to really get it quite wrong, goes off circuit there as he's kind of put off by the racing line I forced him into by going down the inside. And so in the end, we actually get effectively a switchback move on him, back up into first place. Vettel still in third, right up Hamilton's gearbox. But unfortunately, yeah, for us, doing the defending to Vettel kind of meant he had to kind of compromise his own line, and so he's down to P3. So I've already ruined that one too. I was speaking of that. Hopefully we could have kept. But now Hamilton once again will try and dive it down the inside for P1. We're going to switch to the inside and surprise Hamilton, because it looked like we were going to take the outside line, but no, we switched back on him, and now we go round the outside of him side by side. He's going to have the better line there. Just can't quite get the traction on that right-hand side. But into the stadium section, here we go. Big lunge down the inside. Fernando along Alonso-style lunge down the inside there like he did in the 2016 real-life Grand Prix. And we get the move there. Hamilton has another look on the right-hand side, but through the triple right-hander, we're going to keep P1 there, thankfully. And now Vettel can try and suss up Hamilton, hopefully, for my sake and for his sake and for the team's sake. But anyway, on to lap 6, though, we're going to come into the pits anyway. So those three actually continue on. So looks like I'm making a bit of an earlier pit stop with the undercut. But unlike other circuits, I think the undercut will actually work here at USA a little bit better, just from past experience at this circuit during career modes. And then also the circuit itself naturally is quite abrasive there. So I think this may work out better. It's going to be interesting also what tyres people go on, because we've got people, I think that was Alonso there in the top left we saw, started on the medium tyres. So we've got a lot of people out of sync of this Grand Prix that will be going long on the mediums. And as we come out, actually, we can see Max Verstappen has made a much earlier pit stop than I have, just like the two Red Bulls did back in Japan last episode. The two Red Bull cars really wearing out their tyres, and he's on medium. So very interesting. There's going to be quite a big spread, I feel, of people going super softs, people going softs like I have, and then people going mediums. But we overtake, or are trying to overtake, Nico Hülkenberg on lap 8 here, although he's got the legs on me actually as we go towards turn 1. But then under braking, we're actually then going to overtake his teammate Jolyon Palmer, which is never going to be a difficult thing. In fact, Hülkenberg's also followed me through and overtaken Palmer, so, well, the less said about that, the better. So now we try and chase after Stoffel Vandoorne in the first McLaren car that we can see, but we can see Alonso's also up the road eventually on the medium tyres. Vandoorne also equally on the mediums. This time you can see, though, we have trouble. I actually thought I maybe could have got Vandoorne twice there, and twice I frustratingly have to brake check myself and kind of stop myself lunging down the inside or hitting the back of Vandoorne, because he's actually just so slow in those corners, but there's not enough room to make the move. Eventually, though, I do suss out a move. I kind of force myself some space down the inside of that kind of half hairpin, I guess you could say. And now we go down the back straight. We can see, I think that's Romain Grosjean going on the back of one of the Toro Rosso cars, trying to maybe overtake him. Can I kind of surprise him as he's caught napping, trying to look at the Toro Rosso car? Yes, we can, down the inside. Meanwhile, behind I could see Hülkenberg's overtaking Vandoorne there down the inside, but we've done the job on the Haas car. So at the home Grand Prix, unfortunately, not too much pace there, and so we're now closing up on the Toro Rosso. Could we maybe make another lunge down the inside? It's going to be bold on the inside of Kvyat, and we have done it. So twice we've done that move. Really enjoying that move, finding the grip there, and I can see why Alonso did it back in 2016. But now we close up on the other Haas car of Kevin Magnussen there, and can we try and get him as we are in the middle of lap 9 down the inside? Pretty nonchalant move down the inside there, actually locking up a little bit, but we've made it, and we're back up into P5, so already making very, very good progress. Back up into P3 now, as we can see Bottas on the top left has made his pit stop, but now we go down the inside. Alonso very, very close up. So this time around we are able to overtake a McLaren car in the S section there, and so we're up into P2, and P1 is Carlos Sainz again going long, just like he did in Japanese Grand Prix. Sainz twice in a row now, making a habit of being in this top fight, kind of going longer on at least the middle or the hardest tyre available to everyone, and so he's done this twice now. We get the fast lap of the Grand Prix though, so we're going very, very well. So you can clearly see the undercut really has worked, because Bottas is behind us, Vettel's behind us. In fact, I think Vettel is actually on super soft tyres, which is very peculiar. You've got the two Mercedes cars on mediums, I'm on softs, and Vettel's on super softs. So just like I said, it's great. You know, the new kind of 3 tyre compound system now they've got on F1 now, very established, and a kind of I think a kind of fan favourite. I think it's worked out very, very well, especially in 2016. A little bit less so in 2017 in the real life Grand Prix, you must say, with the kind of one stops. But yeah, it's very interesting to see. Just you can see in the top left all 3 different tyre compounds. But anyway, we move on to lap 16 now. As I'm talking about tyre compounds, Bottas tries to have a pop at us, but really just no kind of issue for us. We go down the inside once again through the next part. We kind of go a little bit slower, and Bottas has another look at us. Looks around, maybe kind of tries to put us off in the mirrors, but it's no use there. But you can see on lap 16, it is getting overcast here, so there may be some rain to come, I feel, on the forecast here at COTA. Obviously, it's no stranger to some heavy rain from past races. But anyway, now moving later on to the Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel now is the one on the move down the inside of Valtteri Bottas. They're going to go side by side, and they'll still go side by side, as Bottas is not going to give up this fight, so he sticks it down the inside. There's going to be some contact made there on the front right tyre of Vettel to the Mercedes side pod, so that's very familiar for Vettel as of late in real life, and so he sticks it down the inside of the stadium section, manages to hang it round the outside, and Vettel will get up into P2 and will make it a 1-2 for Scooter Ferrari once again on lap 17. So with less than 10 laps, or just over 10 laps to go, sorry, or as we cross the line now eventually to lap 18, it will be bang on 10 laps to go. It is a 1-2 for Ferrari once again, and hopefully for my sake, for Vettel's sake, and for Eva Bene's sake, we can keep that, because that'd be pretty damn cool. But But now we move on to lap 20 in the middle part, obviously down the back straight. Vettel now is trying to overtake us. So Vettel on those super soft tyres going absolutely hammer and tong now. And so he's going to try and get us around the outside. We'll though have the better inside line here. So we'll stick our nose in there. So Vettel on a charge trying to overtake 2 cars in consecutive laps. But it's going to be no use. We do once again down the inside, just like we did in stint 1. Just defend to the inside line and cut him off basically. But oh no, we've lost the back end though. We've lost the back end and Vettel's overtaken us. The rain is coming down. You can just see a few little spits of rain on the top of our chassis there, at the very bottom of the screen, and that's actually forced us to a mistake. Not only are our tyres worn, but I just got the throttle down way too early there. I was way too confident in the fact that I defended quite well from Vettel, and we've lost the back end there. But Vettel actually, interestingly enough, comes into pit. So has Vettel made an early pit stop for intermediates? If he has, that may be the strategy call of the race, because it is definitely now starting to chuck down here at the USA Grand Prix, and it's time for inters. You can see on the bottom right there on the heads-up display, just before I looked at the tyre wear, I did set it onto intermediate, so we are going to come in for inters. I'm now defending from Bottas, going a little bit wide, but I've lost the back end once again, and I'm losing all sense of grip and composure here. Bottas has overtaken me, and so now I'm really struggling. You can just see trying to get the power down, but it's just like driving on ice at the moment. The grease kind of layer on the circuit with the rain coming down, just so frustrating to try and get the power down, try and keep it in a straight line here. So it's definitely time for inters, and also, as I mentioned, the tyre wear we've got probably hasn't helped. I mean, in normal dry conditions I probably would have been worried about that tyre wear anyway, even without any rain. So we're gonna have to try and come in now, coming a little bit earlier compared to Bottas actually. So it looks like Vettel, I don't think Vettel came in for inters, I don't think. So we're definitely coming for inters. So we're going to come in earlier than both Mercedes cars for inters. So this could either work out well for us or really poorly, because I'm starting to think now, kind of double guess myself, maybe the Mercedes cars know something I don't. Maybe the Mercedes guys have kind of foreseen the forecast. Maybe they think it's only going to be raining for literally one more lap and then it's going to come back to dry. So if that is the case, I've gone the wrong way. But Vettel has not come in for the inters. He's on the soft tyres. So this is a gamble at the moment. This is actually a gamble from what I thought was going to be the kind of obvious choice. This is a bit of a gamble. We're going to have to see as we cross the line now for lap 23. I think it's paid off, because I think all these guys have come in for inters. Yes, they have. So thankfully, thank our lucky stars, it's not a calamity for us. The gamble's paid off. We came in a lap earlier than both Mercedes cars, and that is actually going to mean that after no kind of issues for us, no dramas until the end of the race, we are going to come through eventually now, finally, after a long while, to win a Grand Prix, to win the USA Grand Prix. Aarava Bene is very happy with that. Unfortunately for Aarava Bene, not unfortunate for us. Great for us, actually, that Vettel did not get second place or even third. He came in 4th position, so that's very good for us. It's a double Mercedes podium, but we extend our lead by quite some way to Vettel now in the championship. 271. We could almost break the 300 margin by the end of this season, which would be pretty damn cool, because it would basically mean we're our own constructor almost at that point. We could beat a fair few teams just with our own points, let alone with Vettel. So that's very good for us. Very good Grand Prix, and after a long while, we've got that elusive win. So guys, smash that up button if you have enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly F1 content. I've been over. Hope you enjoyed today, and I will see you guys next time.